It's never not funny. So last weekend I went to KeyCon 39 in Winnipeg. Sorry, it's a little ripped. Which is a like fantasy sci-fi convention with a little bit more of a focus on writing and writers and stuff like that. And it was a lot of fun, and I figured I'd make a short little video talking about the things that I did and the things that I got there, because I'm very excited about this little stack. I guess I'll start with like some of the sessions I went to. I went up with a couple friends and it was a lot of fun. We did the road trip. It's about a 9.5 hour drive. 9-hour drive, 8.5, something like that. And it was good. 3 drivers, so it makes it a pretty easy drive. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I had never been before, and I fully plan on going back next year, although I might fly, we'll see. We got in kinda late on Friday, because we got a little bit of a late start driving, so we missed some of the like later in the evening. But we did happen to go to the last little bit of the sing-along, which is exactly what it sounds like. It was the what was it? We got there while they were doing the Buffy musical episode, and then they were gonna do Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog. I ended up going to bed because I was just really tired. I think they did Rocky Horror Picture Show before that. The next day, like on the Saturday, I ended up going to a session called The Hero's Journey and the Virgin's Promise, and it was just talking about, you know, the old like story structures. That was really good. Writing Alien Myths and Religions was interesting. Aboriginal Images and Graphic Novels was the absolute highlight of the whole thing. They had some really amazing guests who spoke about this, and these are people that are very well known for their research and study of these things, specifically Trevor Greyeyes and Negan Sinclair. They were just amazing to listen to speak. They're incredibly engaging speakers. They're interesting. It's a cool topic. And they're so knowledgeable. And the two of them talking to each other and like kind of bantering back and forth is a great chemistry. And I would totally like listen to them on like a podcast or like something like that, you know, like I definitely enjoyed hearing them speak. So that was absolutely the standout one for me. The protagonist-antagonist relationship panel was also really interesting, done by an absolutely lovely woman named Susan Forrest. She had a lot of very interesting things to say about it. There was a good discussion going, and yeah, it was really enjoyable. Later in the evening, there was the Masquerade, which is like their costume contest. Some of those costumes, so they only had 13 entries. Some of them really, well, you know what, like props to everybody, they were impressive, but like some of them were really impressive. There was a little girl dressed up as a weeping angel, and like she did the like weird shuffling thing and the stopping, and like it was A+, really well done. There was a whole group that was like a group of like D&D adventurers. That was really good. Yeah, they were really cool to watch. At 9 o'clock there was the live badfic readings, which was like the bad fanfic game where, you know, you go around the circle, each person reading a little section, and then if you laugh, you lose, and like it goes around the circle. It was a ton of fun. Some of the most like horrific things, and here's the thing, most of it is intentionally trolly, which I think is actually in some ways, when you think about it a second time, like less funny than the bad stuff that is like, you know, 13-year-old children like writing to get things out, and it's just inherently funny because it's really bad, but it's earnest, which almost makes it better. All of these were, you know, pretty trolly, which doesn't make them any less funny or crazy, but you know, you lose some of that. So I got my little, sorry, my badge is covered in things. I got my little live badfic reading whole page badge because I made it through a whole page of a fic about, what was it about? Thor and Loki. That one actually may not have been a troll. It really read as like 14-year-old girl, like self-insert date the boys thing. Like, yeah, so I'm not sure if that one was real or not. And then of course it ended the night with the most horrible thing, that the lovely person who ran this, they actually like went, like found, because all that exists of this now is screenshots because it's a B-movie fanfic. And all that exists are screenshots, and they actually went and like typed it out so that we could do it for this game. Hats off for that. It was incredible and horrific, and I never thought I would have to hear someone say the word "beacock." And that's all I'm gonna say about that. And then after that, we just missed the tail end of the social where, you know, it was like a dance and stuff. So it was like us and a couple other people like dancing around on the floor. But the thing that got everybody, even the people that were like left at tables sitting that didn't really want to dance, and when Time Warp came on, everybody got up, and it was the most glorious thing. We just stood in a circle and did that, and it was made me so happy. And then on Sunday, we went to a session on iconography that wasn't quite what I was expecting, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. And then at the end of the day, or like the last thing we were gonna do, we went to the 3-round killer improv, set up by the same person that did the bad fanfic reading. It was incredible. I won one of the rounds. Haha. For the just think about it portion, where I was given 2 topics and had to go on a like 45-second rant or whatever about how they connected, and then people could ask me questions. I got dinosaurs having sex and televisions as my 2 things, and basically I took the dinosaurs had sex, we can recreate it through CGI technology of how they would have had sex, and we should show it to children to show them that dinosaurs had sex and they died, so they should not have sex because they will die. And it was like a whole like early childhood abstinence program. And I like just went off. The questions that were, the people asked me like really good questions that I could kind of riff off of, and yeah, it was I was quite happy with it, and apparently everybody else was, because they voted for me to win that round. The other 2 rounds I also participated in got laughs, which made me happy. I haven't done improv in like 9 years, so it felt nice to do it again, even just in like a fun, casual setting where no one's sitting there and judging you. High school. No, it was really fun. And then after that, we, the people I was there with, we went and got crepes, and then we drove home. Yeah, it was an absolutely lovely time, and I just really had to talk about it because I thought it was so fun. A lot of the sessions were good. I've already mentioned like all the sessions I did, but like I will say, like overall the sessions were really good. Some of them I was a little bit less impressed with. I didn't feel like I totally got all the things out of them that I wanted to get out of them, and a couple of them I feel like didn't really touch on the topic that they said they were going to touch on. That being said, absolutely worth it. And the other stuff that happened while we were there, the people we met and just the fun we had, like all of that was worth it. Absolutely. And honestly, Trevor and Nigan's panel was like the highlight for that kind of stuff. I would have paid if that was the only panel to go to, you know? There was also like a little marketplace like most of these things have, and I figured I would really quick talk about what I picked up because it's really great, and also I want to, you know, the books. So I will start with the most exciting thing. So there was this guy who has a used bookstore called Bear's Den. He's like a book collector. He has a used bookstore, and he brought a bunch of like trilogies and stuff like that to see, like, you know, if people want to pick them up. And look what he had. The Diablo trilogy. Which is very, very exciting to me as somebody that not only loves the Diablo games, but also loves them enough to have done academic research projects on them, including one for a Tales After Tolkien Society panel at the Medieval Congress in Kalamazoo a few years back. I'm obsessed. And so to find these in really good condition, like, these are like, they're used and you can see the wear there, but like look at that, like the spines are really not cracked, and like I generally don't care about that, but it really, like, they're in really good condition is the point. Like, if you told me somebody hadn't read these or had barely read them, I wouldn't be horribly surprised. Anyway, so I got these. It was funny, the guy said to me, he's like, yeah, I figured bringing them. I figured someone here would buy them. It's like, yes, and it was me. So I'm very happy about these. From the same guy, I got Mark Lawrence's Broken Empire series, which is a group of books I have been really wanting to pick up every time I see the first one at the store, and I haven't gotten around to it, but they looked really interesting to me, and I was like, oh, all three. And like you can see, these have been well read. You know, spines are cracked. Once again, don't really care about stuff like that, but they're also in quite good condition. And yeah, it was exciting. All right, and then I will talk about, so there was actually like authors and a couple little publishers there, or like presses there, I guess. And so I bought 4 books from 2 different things. I bought the Keeper of Shadows book by Scarlett Cole. It is paranormal romance, and I'm so excited because I love paranormal romance, and I've been on a paranormal romance kick for the last couple months, as you can tell by all the stuff I've been reading. Yeah, she signed it for me, which was nice. I always feel so silly, like, oh yeah, can you sign it? But I also just, it feels nice. It makes it my book, you know? So that was good. And then from the same booth, but a different author, Alyssa Thiessen, her book Infusion. It is urban fantasy, and I'm so excited. Look at that cover. Like, honestly, both of these covers, look at how gorgeous these are. And like, I'm not really one for like for or against putting people on the fronts of books. I know some people are like, oh, I don't really like the look of people on the front of books, and some people, you know, are the opposite. I don't really care one way or the other, but like, these are gorgeous, so that's exciting. I'm really excited to read both of them. And then I got MC Joudry's Of Violence and Cliché, which is like a kind of fantasy, kind of like urban fantasy. It's apparently kind of weird, but it sounded appealing to me, so I got that. And then I actually got another novel of his that also seemed weird and kind of fantasy-ish, and yeah, I'm excited about it. Yeah, those are the books that I bought. I just figured I'd go through the stuff that happened at the convention just briefly. It's been nice. Like I said, I've never been to this convention before, and I've never been to like a sci-fi fantasy convention as opposed to like an anime convention or like a Comic-Con. And there was definitely that difference in like that it was a little more geared towards like writers and authors and stuff like that, because most of the panels were on how to write certain things, or you know, how to tell stories. There was a couple D&D panels, you know, stuff like that, and I really enjoyed it. It was a change of pace. It was good to get away for the weekend. Anyway, that's all I got for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye.